Hey everyone, it's Kathy.
And Paul here with Adulting.
We're here to help you navigate the crazy world of adulting.
Because let's be real, it's a wild ride. We'll be dropping tips, sharing stories,
And maybe even spilling some embarrassing secrets along the way.
so get comfortable, grab your favorite drink, get ready to laugh, learn, and level up your adulting game. This is Adulting. Don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe, and share this podcast. Head over to adulting.com for more information and to submit questions for us about adulting.
And maybe even pick up some of our new merchandise. And if you know any fellow adults who need some guidance, send them our way.
Hi, everybody. Today, we're going to deal with,
Pity parties.
got an issue? Here's your tissue. We want you guys to grow into adults. That means a transition from infant through toddler, through, what do you call it next? Adolescence, into young adult.
Into old people like us.
You just threw a gauntlet there. I am not old.
Today we're going to discuss why so many people have pity parties, how we can get past them, how come some people are stuck in them, what to do when you realize you're having a pity party, and some strategies to help you or a friend move past it.
We need to talk about it because I get stuck in pity parties. I get stuck in lots of parties.
You get stuck in a lot, yeah.
I get pity parties, anger parties. How come I don't get happy parties?
I don't know, you're special.
I am special. I'll say that about myself.
I get happy parties.
Why is it that so many young adults get stuck in pity parties?
That's a really insightful question that touches on a common psychological pattern in young adulthood. While occasionally self-pity is a normal human response to setbacks, getting stuck in a pity party can often be linked to a few underlying factors.
Like seeking external validation and attention. I love this one because I see so many people stuck in it. They need someone else to tell them, good job, recognize me for doing good work. Well, blah, 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 do your shit.
A lot of people crave sympathy. Self-pity can be a subconscious bid for attention and validation from others. If a young adult feels insecure or worries that people won't care about them unless they are suffering or struggling, they may lean into the poor me narrative to elicit compassion.
It doesn't work. I'm just saying, it gets so aggravating.
It does work. It works on the initial. But when it becomes a woe is me day after day after day, it gets old really fast and it stops working.
It's like the boy who cried wolf and then no one came and he got ate.
When friends or family offer comfort and focus when the young adult is complaining, it can unintentionally reinforce the behavior, creating a cycle where they return to self-pity to get that positive attention again. Kind of like when you have a toddler who is your, third or fourth child and they do something bad, they get yelled at. Bad attention for them is better than no attention.
How about avoiding responsibility and action? These are your victim mentality people. Adopting the victim role can allow a young adult to avoid personal responsibility for their situation. It's always somebody else's. This always happens to me. The world is against me. They feel free to just blame external factors. It's all bullshit.
This mindset offers a temporary escape from the difficult work of finding solutions or taking constructive action to change their own circumstances, leading to prolonged stagnation and feeling stuck.
This one's probably real. Low self-esteem and unresolved issues. Many young adults today came through COVID. It was a terrible, terrible time. You got stuck in a little stupid postage stamp sized picture on your teacher's screens. You didn't get to interact with anybody. It led to some bad stuff. You focus on your flaws. Self-pity is often rooted in that low self-esteem or an underlying belief that one is incapable, unworthy, or undeserving of good outcomes. You focus on perceived flaws or misfortunes, magnifying their problems. Well, the truth is, the world doesn't care. It sounds harsh. That flaw that you're seeing, it's like if you put up a bathroom ceiling fan and there's a little area where It doesn't look perfect. You know who sees that? You do. You know who doesn't see it? The person that's using your bathroom.
I mean, I guess some people, if they were really taking their time looking around for flaws, would see it. But how many people do you know that would actually do that?
A few, but they don't matter.
There's also past traumas or issues. Unresolved emotional issues or past traumas can make it harder to cope with new challenges, leading young adults to retreat into familiar patterns of self-pity when overwhelmed.
Which leads to transition and overwhelm in young adults. Young adults in their 20s and 30s, it's a time of immense transition and pressure. You're going from, for lack of a better word, kind of a carefree existence into life's life. And the consequences go from, oh, I might get, detention to I might lose my job, my home, and not be able to feed myself. It is a lot of pressure. There's unexpected challenges. You face major life changes such as career struggles, financial independence, and complex relationships. All at the same time, your parents are aging, your siblings are a pain in the butt. It becomes overwhelming and unpredictable.
And there's always social comparison. Social media often presents a highly curated, successful image of your peers, leading to unfavorable social comparison and the feeling that everyone else is thriving but me.
Which is exactly why we should open our dinner table to the whole world to see.
Right. And it's really made me have second thoughts about the things we're worried about with our kids, because after the last few weeks talking to other people who have children our age, they're in the same boat. They're not all out there changing the world yet. They will be. They're just not yet.
Oh, they're changing the world, okay. Just not maybe in the way we think. While we're on our get off the lawn kick here.
Now, let's talk about moving beyond the pity party. The antidote to excessive self-pity often involves shifting from a focus on yourself and misfortune to a more balanced, action-oriented, and compassionate perspective.
I believe we could also say it this way. When you get stuck in the pity party, shift into taking care of somebody or something else. By thinking about that person or that thing, you lose focus on your own pity party. Service can save your life.
And remember some self-compassion, acknowledging pain and failures, but treating yourself with kindness and understanding as you would a friend in the same situation, rather than wallowing in your misery.
Embrace gratitude. If you're listening to us, you have things to be grateful for. It may not seem like it. It may be difficult to see it. Take a step back, look for the blessings in your life.
And take responsibility, recognizing that while you can't control everything that happens, you can control how you respond and your actions moving forward.
Why is it that some people get stuck in these pity parties more than others? What do you think?
I think it gets to the heart of individual psychological differences. While everyone experiences moments of self-pity, getting stuck in a chronic pity party is often linked to personality traits, learned behavior patterns, and underlying emotional issues. Here are some of the key reasons that people wallow in self-pity more than others.
Obviously, personality traits, they're just broken.
They're not broken. There is a consistent link found in psychological research where individuals high in neuroticism are more prone to negative emotions, including anxiety, worry, depression, and self-pity. They tend to react oversensitively to stress or minor setbacks. I'm laughing because it's like describing you.
I guess I shouldn't think the way I think, but I do. And I do I'm not oversensitive.
To stress or minor setbacks.
I don't have feelings.
Yeah. Remember those? Anger, anger,
oh boy.
anger, and anger.
I do. Next, you're going to tell me I have to experience joy.
I think you have to watch that movie with the emotions.
I'm going to get out my wheel of emotions on you.
There's also low self-esteem and insecurity. People with low self-esteem are more likely to internalize misfortunes as a validation of their own unworthiness. They use self-pity to confirm their negative self-view. Bad things happen to me because I deserve them, or I'm not capable of handling this. Hate to tell you this, guys. That is all 100% untrue.
The next one we've talked about a bunch. External locus of control. Here's the key to that. For you to be bothered by someone else, they have to matter. Just make them don't matter.
Some people matter that do bother you, but you have to learn to navigate it.
I got to give kudos to our neighbor who actually said this. I said, you know, if you do that or if we do this, we're going to get in trouble. And he said, no, I'm not, because for that to happen, I'd have to care. It was tongue in cheek. It was funny, but it illustrates the point. You have to look at where this is coming from. If you have an exclusively external locus of control, then your day could be shot to shit by somebody cursing at you at a red light.
Right. Instead, you should take the bull by the horns and seek internal solutions. Figure out a way to let it go.
Some self-pity does come from legit stuff. Past trauma or abuse, experiencing true victimization, especially in childhood, whether it be abuse, neglect, chronic betrayal, can fundamentally disrupt a person's sense of control. These people, if you've had significant they call them ACE, adverse childhood events now, when you classify it in mental health, if you've had them, you can get stuck in them. Your development can get stuck and you can't get out of the loop. Those are the situations where you need professional help. There's plenty of tools out there. Don't be afraid to go get those tools to get around it.
There's also learned behavior. If you grew up with a parent or a primary caregiver who constantly complained, deflected responsibility, or acted as if the world was against them, they may have inadvertently taught you that this is a normal way to cope with difficulty.
I'm glad it came out in this order. Person who grew up in a terrible, terrible, abusive, neglectful house and had those adverse childhood events, that person probably needs a therapist.
But they also need to know there are other ways to deal with things in life.
The person who learned that behavior from a role model, that person doesn't necessarily need a therapist, but could benefit greatly from a coach or mentor. Avoidance of responsibility. Self-pity serves as a highly effective, though destructive way to avoid the hard work. I can tell you that by doing that, you may make today easier, sure, because you didn't have to do something, but anytime you take the easier road today, you're making tomorrow's road harder.
And by thinking life's just unfair to you personally, all that's doing is taking away the risk of trying and possibly failing again, but it's also taking away the risk of trying and succeeding.
It also can lead to secondary gain. This is a reinforcement cycle. For some, the pity party continues because it serves a subconscious, immediate emotional purpose. It's what psychologists call the secondary gain. What it gains them is attention and validation when all their friends are like, oh, you're right, it does suck, everything you're going through. It's immediate comfort, sympathy, and emotional focus from others. That positive reinforcement, if you heard that right, that positive reinforcement, even if it's just attention, can strengthen the cycle of self-pitying behavior.
There's also manipulation and control. In some cases, the victim role is used to manipulate or control others, making them feel guilty or obligated to help you, thus preventing the pained individual from being abandoned or having to assert themselves.
There's emotional closeness. I think I've heard this referred to as trauma bonding, although not exactly the same thing. Ironically, self-pity can be a desperate, albeit ineffective attempt to feel emotionally connected to others by sharing a deep sense of pain. To summarize, the people most likely to get stuck are those with a baseline tendency towards negative emotions, a history that has stripped them of a sense of control, and social environments that are inadvertently rewarding their distress with sympathy. There is a way out, though. Here's a 3-phase approach for what to do when you realize you're in the middle of a pity party. Note to self, this is for you.
The goal here is to stop the downward spiral immediately without self-criticism.
Tony Robbins says you should take about 90 seconds to absorb what you're in and then start shifting your mindset or it becomes unproductive. That's what he's talking about. Acknowledge where you are. Say, okay, this is where you are, whiny boy, and interrupt it.
Don't beat yourself up. That just fuels more negative emotion. Treat the realization with gentle curiosity, not condemnation.
Physically interrupt the cycle. This is changing your location. Get up and move to a different room. Step outside. Stand up and stretch. Get active. Engage your senses. Drink a cold glass of water. Splash cold water on your face. Douse your head with cold water. Do whatever you got to do, as long as it's legal and not dangerous. Listen to an upbeat song or an Irish bar song like just played while I was trying to iron, which, by the way, they're still very mad at the English.
Use a pattern interrupt phrase. Have a short, predetermined phrase ready to stop the flow of negativity. Say things like, enough, stop the tape, or pivot.
Next phase is shifting the focus. It's the reframe. It's important to get this part in because if you are able to interrupt it, you need to substitute something in the tape here. You want to identify the core belief, the lie. Ask yourself, what is the specific negative story I am telling myself right now? Whether it be, I'm a failure, this always happens to me, I'll never get ahead. Acknowledge that this is an emotionally charged interpretation, not necessarily objective truth.
Practice gratitude, even for small things. List 3 small, immediate things you're grateful for, even if you don't feel it fully. They can be simple. I'm grateful for my hot coffee. I have a working computer. I can breathe freely. The goal is to force your brain to look for positive evidence rather than negative evidence.
Shift from why me to what now. This is a shift from being stuck curled up in the fetal position to what can I do? What actions can I take? Replace the victim question, why is this happening to me, with an empowering question. What is the smallest productive step I can take right now? Because now is better than now. The goal is not to solve the whole problem, but to start creating movement. An example would be, I'm going to make one phone call, or I will update one line on my resume. As they say, stepping into the gym is the hardest step you're going to take all day.
And phase 3 is constructive action. This phase turns the energy of the pity party into momentum. Do one thing that supports your future self. Make a small investment in your well-being. This could be a 10-minute walk, doing the dishes, meditating for 5 minutes, or sending one important email. Completing this task generates a feeling of competence and control, which is the direct opposite of helplessness felt during self-pity.
Wisely connect outwardly. Instead of calling a friend to vent and seek sympathy, which reinforces the pity, call to do something mutually engaging, like watch a show or talk about their life. Notice it's their life, not your life. Alternately, find a way to help someone else. Self-pity focuses intensely inward. Service forces you to focus outwardly and reminds you that you have resources to give.
Use journaling for clarity, not complaining. If you need to process emotions, write them down, but give yourself a time limit, like 5 minutes. After the time is up, end the entry by writing down 2 facts or lessons you can take from the situation. 2 positives.
Next, let's talk about we see somebody we're friendly with. We know somebody that's stuck in it. What can we do to help them? And first on that is validate their pain, but not their narrative. When someone is in a pity party, they need to feel heard. If you jump straight to solutions, like this Dumbo always does, they feel dismissed. It's not time for Mr. Fix-It. It's time to hear what they're saying.
And just remember, you can say things like, I can see that you're really hurting, or that sounds incredibly frustrating. But you shouldn't say things like, that's terrible. You really have the worst luck. Or no wonder you're stuck. It's all someone else's fault.
Just today at work, I was listening to an audio program about listening. Do you know what's more powerful than active listening?
What?
Empathetic listening. I had never heard of it before. All the books I read, all the audios I listen to, had never heard of empathetic listening before.
Set a time limit on venting. Allow them a compassionate space to get their emotions out, but gently guide the conversation toward a turn. You can say things like, I'm here to listen to everything. Let's talk about how bad this is for the next 5 minutes. Then we're going to talk about what we're going to do next.
And what's next is shifting the focus from why to how. Once the venting is over, your role is to help them gently pivot into a conversation from reflecting on the past and blaming to looking forward and what actions they can take. You need to help reframe their locus of control. Instead of letting them dwell on what they can't control, focus on small things that they can do.
You can ask them empowering questions. You can say, given the situation, what's one small thing that you have control over right now? Like how you're reacting or how you feel. You can also focus them on the present. Gently pull them out of their complaining. Right now, in the next hour, what could you do that would make you feel productive?
It could be we could change the environment and activity. Pity parties thrive, they fester on stagnation and negative mental loops. Interrupting the physical routine is highly effective most times.
You could suggest an activity that engages their body and mind, but doesn't allow for intense conversation about their problems.
Astitude.
Astitude
will work.
You could also introduce a distraction. A distraction is a healthy coping mechanism when deployed deliberately.
For those of you that don't know, astitude is smiling and wiggling your butt because it's physically impossible to be in a bad mood if you're smiling and wiggling your butt.
Just try to avoid playing the sympathy enabler. If your friend keeps circling back to the victim narrative after you've validated their feelings, you need to set a boundary.
Model healthy coping. Show them how to handle disappointment and setbacks by discussing challenges with solutions-oriented attitude rather than simply complaining. At work, I used to call this be part of the solution. If you have to go to the boss with something, don't just go complain. You can go express what the problem is, but always have part of the solution, the action steps you've taken towards it.
By focusing on validation, gentle redirection, and constructive action, you help your friend without reinforcing the victimhood that keeps them stuck.
I really hope today has helped. Just remember, if you get stuck in got an issue, need a tissue, think about service, think about the mental loop you're in and how you're going to break it, and get off your backside and do something. Just laying around wallowing in it sucks, and it doesn't make it any better. Lots of love, people. Till next time.
Just remember, you've got this, adults. Keep your head up, your spirits high, and keep adulting with us. Go forth and conquer the world, or at least your to-do list.
And don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe. Tell your friends, share the podcast, and head over to adulting.com for more information and to connect with us. See you on the next episode. Be safe.